What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another F1 video on this lovely Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing good and amazing as always. I've not talked to you guys about this yet, but Steiner left Haas like a few days ago. I didn't really mention it until now, but I personally don't really know the decision behind it. I didn't really read too much into it. I kind of just got like an alert. I kind of just read what the alert was. It just said he was leaving with like immediate effect. I think Will Buxton, I think made a tweet. I think talking about, I think Haas, what they used to do, they aren't doing now, something like that. But anyway, if you guys really know what happens regarding the whole Steiner Haas incident, let me know in the comments down below. But that kind of sucks. Wasn't really expecting that. Was not expecting that. Hopefully Steiner goes somewhere, performs well, stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But as always, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like the video and sub as well. We are going to check out 13 worst pit stops in F1 history. Shout out to Racers Riveri. All credit goes to him. Hopefully I said that right. You guys know me. The pit stops can be crazy. They can be pretty exciting. You guys know me. I used to be on the Mercedes pit stop team. Yeah, I said pit stop team. Wow, that's crazy. The pit crew team. You know me. I was the lollipop man, so I just held the sign up. Anyway, let's go and get started. Don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Let's get it.
Formula One is known for producing the fastest, most exhilarating pit stops in all of motorsports. Teams of up to 20 crew members aim to service their car in under 2 seconds.
That was me.
And with this type of pressure, the possibility of a mistake is never far away. Confusion, missing parts, and even fire. The F1 pit lane has seen it all. So, join us as we take you through the worst F1 pit stops ever.
I'll be so mad trying to get to my freaking pit stop area and I get hit by somebody leaving. Oh my gosh. Out of all the places, I'll be pissed.
First up is this absolute shocker from the 2010 Hungarian Grand Prix. You've heard of unsafe releases, right? Well, this one might just take the award for the most unsafe release of all time. The race was overshadowed by this frightening incident in the pits when Robert Kubica's Renault made contact with Adrian Sutil's Force India. As Sutil was entering his pit box for what he thought was going to be a normal stop, he was greeted by the Renault of fan favorite Kubica, who seemingly came out of nowhere. Kubica was released straight into the path of Sutil, and the two cars came together in a massive way. It instantly broke the front suspension of Sutil's car and wrecked the front end of the Renault, ruining both of their days in the process. Another driver who had their day ruined in the pits was Eddie Irvine in 1995. He was driving his Peugeot at the famous Spa circuit and pitted for fresh tires and fuel. Just as he was pulling away from his...
look at all that fuel and water coming out. Guys, look at that.
And pitted for fresh tires and fuel.
Look at all that leakage coming out. No wonder
just as he was
fire
pulling
could
away
start.
from his box, his Peugeot became...
Look at that! Looking like a freak, looking like Hellcat.
Engulfed in flames. It
Holy
quickly traveled
crap.
from the back of the car to the cockpit and managed to set Irvine on fire while still in the car. Irvine scrambled to climb out to safety in a completely frantic moment. It happened after the fuel hose became loose, which sprayed fuel onto the car and ignited it. Luckily, his team reacted quickly with fire extinguishers. Irvine was unharmed in this incident, but his car could go no further. The year before, Jos Verstappen was the one on the receiving end of some pit stop misfortune. The father of three-time world champion Max experienced a terrifying moment when his Benetton Ford caught fire during a pit stop. This crazy incident happened as Verstappen came into the pits for what should have been a standard stop. As the mechanic pulled out the fuel hose, it sprayed fuel all over both the car and Josh. The fuel quickly ignited, covering Verstappen and his car in a crazy fireball. In a moment that looked like his car had been blown up.
Goes the fuel hose, a little bit of a problem. Is that fuel splashing? Horrific. Greatest fear of everyone.
That's a scary freaking sight, bro. Oh my god.
Flames ran into the garage, then thought better of it and came back.
I'm so happy they got rid of fuel. I know I say it a lot.
Burning car without serious injuries.
You know what's crazy? He looks just like a young Max. Well, this time frame, whatever. But like this scene right here, he looks exactly just like Max. Yo, of course, Chaz, it's his dad. I know, but still, that's a scary sight. Him and freaking Eddie Irvine stuff. Oh my god!
One of the most insane.
That was probably that's the craziest one though.
History. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please
just
consider
trying to
liking this video.
Next thing you know, your car's on fire. You're on fire.
More quality motorsports content just like this. With that being said, let's check out this catastrophic error from the 2007 season. Japanese driver Kazuki Nakajima was making his Formula One race debut at Interlagos in the Brazilian Grand Prix. He was driving for Williams, and when he was tasked with making his first ever pit stop, it was far from smooth. He locked up his front tire and overshot his marks.
Damn, yo, bro!
Into two of his mechanics. He lifted them off their feet, sending one flying over his front tire and knocking the other to the ground with a nasty hit.
The mechanic's been flattened by his driver, Kazuki Nakajima, making his first ever Formula One pit stop.
Jeez!
He's okay, but he's going to need to get an ice pack on that.
Nakajima apologized for the error, and miraculously, there was nobody seriously injured after this.
My boy's back.
Another ridiculous moment from 2007 happens to the Super Aguri team at the Canadian Grand Prix. This race will forever be etched into the history of F1 for a few reasons. One of them being this bizarre incident involving the Super Aguri driver Anthony Davidson. Davidson was holding a brilliant third place for this lower-ranked team when disaster struck. He hit a groundhog on track just before the pit entry, and was forced to pit immediately to fix the damage, giving his team no time to get ready. When he arrived in his pit box, he found his team completely unaware that he had pitted. The mechanics were nowhere to be seen and left Davidson stranded in the pits for what seemed like an eternity. When he finally got back out on track, all hopes of a podium finish had been erased, and he finished the race down in a disappointing 11th place. And while we're talking about
that just seemed like bad luck.
Delayed pit stops,
that just seemed like bad luck.
Worse than this one.
But
in the Malaysian.
Okay, but how you not aware? But wouldn't the driver communicate with like the team principal, whatever? Like be like, hey, I'm coming in, stuff like that, and it shouldn't that be relayed towards the pit crew team? You know what I mean? Like. Now my boy came in, lost the podium spot. That's tough.
Ferrari decided to pit both of their drivers at the same time in what is known as a double stack. But the goal of a double stack is to not delay either car, which is exactly what Ferrari didn't do. Rubens Barrichello's stop was extremely slow, so when Michael Schumacher drove into the box behind him, he found Barrichello still there. Schumacher had to park his car and wait for the mechanics to finish his teammate's pit stop, while he sat in an agonizing wait, watching on from behind. His stop took 1 minute and 12 seconds, and both drivers took the pain of Ferrari's mismanagement that day. Next time, boys, have the tires ready.
Well, look at this. This is a powerboat race. It's not a Formula One car race.
That's crazy.
Out of the pits after 1 minute and 12 seconds goes Rubens Barrichello. One of my cliches is anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does, but I wouldn't have expected this.
Another driver who suffered ridiculous wait times in the pit lane was Antonio Giovinazzi. At the Spanish Grand Prix in 2021, Giovinazzi's pit stop was almost perfect, but at the last second, the front left tire changer noticed that the new tire was already flat. In F1, all tires have to be from the same set, so every tire had to be changed again. The mechanics were left scrambling for a new set of tires in the garage, and Giovinazzi was forced to sit in his car as chaos unfolded around.
So if one tire from that set doesn't work, they gotta get a whole new fresh set? I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that rule. But maybe I'm seeing like a bigger point of why that is, but that's crazy. I don't know if I like that rule. That's just
him. By the time everything was sorted out, his pit stop was over 50 seconds long. It completely ruined his race, but as they say, anything can happen in F1. And when they say that anything can happen, it also means driver error. Lewis Hamilton found this out in the Malaysian Grand Prix in 2013 when he made a rare mistake. After spending 13 years with McLaren, he switched to Mercedes in 2013. But on this day, he seemed to have momentarily forgotten that. Instead of pulling into the Mercedes box, he took a drive into the stand of his old team McLaren instead. Luckily for him, Mercedes was just 2 garages further up in the pit lane, so he was able to drive on and pull into the correct box. It was one of the funniest mistakes ever in the history of F1's pit stops, and shows that even these top athletes can have a lapse in concentration.
Oh, he went in the wrong pit! Hamilton went into the wrong pit! Tom, I think you saw it.
But when it came to this next pit stop, there was nothing funny.
Felipe Massa.
It was the opposite, in fact, and especially so for the Ferrari team and their driver. Felipe Massa was in a tight battle for the championship and needed everything to go smoothly in this race. But when he pitted for tires and fuel, the opposite happened. When Massa pulled away, the fuel hose did not disconnect from his car and he drove off with it still attached. He dragged it down the pit lane and was forced to stop before re-entering the track.
Felipe's light went green and off he went, but his fuel rig was still
Damn,
attached.
the guy fell over too.
And the Ferrari mechanics arrived on the scene.
The incident cost him a crazy amount of time and had serious implications in his championship fight. It's an example of a tiny mistake costing a team dearly, highlighting the importance of a clean pit stop. Back to
It's always
driver
the fuel
error
tanks
this next
messing up.
one with this chaotic pit lane
I don't know who
incident.
bro is.
The Hungarian Grand Prix of 2011 was already a dramatic race thanks to its wet, changing conditions. And because of this, one of the race's most memorable moments was when rookie Jerome D'Ambrosio came in for his pit stop. The driver for Virgin Racing was pulling into his box when, out of nowhere, he lost control of his car and spun. He almost hit his mechanics, but luckily they were just far enough away. And fortunately for him and his team, his mechanics were able to put him back into position and complete his pit stop.
Hey, that's
He
hard.
was lucky to not hit the wall too, and everyone
Hey,
came
yeah,
away
it's
unscathed
hard.
after this bizarre moment.
Shout out to bro.
Kimi Raikkonen's
Hey,
fiery
shout out to
incident
bro
in the
for that.
Brazilian pits in 2009 stands as one of the wildest pit stop moments in Formula One history. On the first lap of the race, Raikkonen damaged his front wing.
And then, did you hear that? The emphasis on his last name? And then
Formula One history. On the first lap of the race, Raikkonen damaged
That's
his
hard.
front wing and came into the pits for
That's
repairs.
hard.
But as
And then-
Raikkonen was exiting, fellow Finn Heikki Kovalainen pulled out of his box with the fuel hose still attached to his McLaren. The hose dragged in front of Raikkonen's car and threw fuel over him and the pit lane. His Ferrari ignited immediately, and he was engulfed in flames. Luckily, it somehow extinguished itself in a matter of moments, and Kimi was unharmed. It's another example of how an innocent bystander can still be caught in the crossfire of another car's bad pit stop. But Brazil 2009 wasn't the only time that Kimi Raikkonen was caught in the crossfire.
Kimi again.
The 2008 Canadian Grand Prix featured a chaotic incident in the pit lane that saw a collision between Lewis Hamilton, Kimi Raikkonen, and Nico Rosberg. Hamilton was leading the race when he pitted, but when he exited his box, he didn't see the red light at the end of the pit lane, which means you must stop before re-entering the track. He didn't hit the brakes in time and rammed the back of Raikkonen's Ferrari, who was sitting still at the pit exit. The impact then spun Raikkonen's car into Rosberg, who was waiting beside him to exit. It was complete carnage, and a great reminder that a clean pit stop is not over until all cars are back on track.
But he'd already lost his lead. And
I
then
wonder
he
what.
just
I
lost it
wonder
completely.
why is there a red light?
And Rosberg too. Incredible.
That's weird. Like why is there a red light?
For our last blunder today, let's check out Mark Webber's
my
mishap
dog.
at the Nürburgring in 2013, perhaps one of the most dangerous pit stops ever. When Webber pulled into his box, all appeared to go smoothly from his perspective,
seen that.
but from the outside, it was very different. The rear left tire was not on correctly, and mechanics attempted to fix it. But before Mark could be notified of the issue, he drove away. Unfortunately, Red Bull gave this rear left tire wings as it flew off instantly. barreling down the pit lane at shocking speed. Mechanics from other teams managed to jump out of the way, but the cameraman was completely caught off
Oh
guard.
my
The tire
god!
bounced up just at the wrong time and smashed into the cameraman's head, lifting him off the ground and causing a very nasty impact on the pit lane tarmac. Luckily, he made a full recovery, and Webber's tireless Red Bull was a small concern at the end of the day compared to the safety of the workers. So, after watching these breathtaking pit stop problems, we must call a close to this video.
That was crazy. That was actually a really good video. That last one was crazy. That, especially that big ass camera falling on you. Oh my god. 13 of the worst. Which one was the worst? I think probably the worst one was probably the Verstappen one. Like Jos Verstappen, the whole car is just engulfed. Oh my god. Ugh. Oh my god. Anyway, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Take care. Be amazing as always. And I'll talk to you guys again. Peace.